Yes, we are just at the mid-season with a lot of sack letters flying here and there. We have Ruben Amorim of Manchester United sacked already. Manchester United felt it was the right time. Enzo Maresca also, some said he walked away, some said they parted ways, and some media outlets also reported that it was a sack. If you look at what is unfolding in the Premier League, you can tell that coaches like Nuno Espirito Santo, Thomas Frank of Tottenham Hotspur are all hanging in the balance, especially even as it concerns Wolverhampton Wanderers. So when you look at all of that, it tells you about a season. But on this episode, we're looking at the timing of these two sack. If I feel like they are right, or should Chelsea had exercised more patience, can they still get anything out of this season? They're still in the four competitions. Can Manchester United still get out anything from the competitions that they are involved in? Looking at this side, we have Fletcher, who is taking charge of the team. Darren Fletcher. We're hearing news about Michael Carrick and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who can take over on a interim basis. Who is possibly going to be the next manager of Manchester United? We know that Rosenau is the man from Strasbourg. He's looking like he would take the reins at Chelsea. But on this episode, we concentrate more on the timing of the sack and the consequences of these two great football teams. My name is Oji Ofia, the double O. I am not doing this alone. I'm doing this with Chiwendo and, of course, Bob Fridge. Don't forget that the program is proudly sponsored by our friends at MaxBet, www.maxbet.ng. Let's talk about this. To talk about this with me is the one and only Chiwendo, and I have also Bob Fridge. It's quite unfortunate that relationship between Enzo Maresca and Chelsea had to end the way it did. I didn't see that coming for a manager that won the Conference League and the FIFA Club World Cup just last season. And but we know how things can deteriorate. And the fact that he was not taking advice from the medical team, he skipped some interviews, played players against the will of the medical team, and you know we look at all of this. But let's particularly look at the timing on this program. What can you say about the timing? Can you say that the timing is right for the sack of these coaches? First of all, let's start with Manchester United.
I think Ruben Amorim was actually doing a good job with Manchester United, even though a lot of people want to complain. He met that Manchester United not in a very good shape. He's trying to blend. He's trying to bring them together. He has his own his own negative side that I understand. But you see a manager that is willing to pick up. I mean, if it was last season that they sacked him, I would have said, okay, deserved. But now this is a new season. He was trying to pick up. Manchester United is at least they are among the top 10 in the Premier League. That's to tell you that he's building up. He left Manchester United last season ended in 15th position, and for a team that is trying to build again, we strategize and trying to get this team up and running, and then you now fired him. I think it's a wrong timing, but at the same time, it's showing that the owners of the club they have to put their stamp on the ground to tell the manager that we are still the one in charge. We know what is happening. We're seeing it. I think he overwent. I feel for me, I feel like Amorim was even tired of the job because that statement that eventually led to his sack, he wasn't supposed to say that. I mean, we also what is happening in the Premier League. Now, what they're trying to do in the Premier League, they are removing the title of manager and just putting you as head coach. Go there, go be the coach, but we want to run the affairs of the players because we have seen several times. Yes, we have seen several times where you will see a manager saying, I don't even know about these players, but they are just here. They just told us this is the players, you have to use them. And that era of a manager is they're beginning to strip it away. For just coming as the head coach, any player will give you, you work with them. That's what one of the reasons. I mean, we're not talking about Arne Slot now, but Arne Slot is the head coach of Liverpool, not a manager. Sometimes we want to argue these things and say, but that's the new trend that's going on in the Premier League, and I think Ruben Amorim understand that no, I cannot be boxed around. I know my quality. I know what I can give. I know what I cannot offer. Yes, Manchester United is struggling, but I know myself. I know my quality. You don't box me around, and that was it. But for me, I feel the owners of the club, they needed to do that to stamp that authority.
Before you go, what was agreed? Was he agreed that Amorim would be Manchester United manager? I mean, upon appointment or coach, because we still need to. Because I feel like Mourinho would never be a head coach. He would never. Underline the word never. He wants to be a manager. That he wants to be the ones running points out. Just like his relationship with Abramovich when he said, "Which striker do you want? You want Ronaldinho? Do you want Ronaldo, the Neymar?" And he had to make a choice for Didier Drogba. Now, that is the kind of manager we have in Mourinho. And I feel like that's the kind of manager that Amorim wants to be.
Yes.
Like Pep would have said, I need Semenyo. And you get me
Semenyo, yes.
I need Haaland. And you get me Haaland. Yes. So, Ruben Amorim's emotional and inconsistent behavior was the key part of the reason why he was sacked. Now, is well analyzed. Said emotional intelligence. And when we talk about also Enzo Maresca, emotional intelligence was highlighted. Press conferences, what you say, what you do. Why say, oh, I have to stick with that formation because I know the media was watching, let it not be like we are changing. What are you saying? And I feel like lack of emotional intelligence is the problem of modern day coaches. They really lack emotional intelligence.
I think I would disagree with you. Emotional intelligence, and we also what Mourinho did. When you're talking about lack of emotional intelligence, will you not give it to Mourinho? But he succeed.
No, the truth is emotional intelligence.
I don't think so.
Let me tell you.
I don't think so. Because he knows he likes. Okay, let me agree with you that he's the mind game. Because he knows how to come and tell you what the media wants to hear.
Yeah, but do you believe that Mourinho can ever say, oh, the reason why I stuck with that formation is because the media will feel like I changed because of them?
No, Mourinho will not say that.
That's what I'm going to say with his mouth.
Let me bring this to you, which is that one thing you should understand about Chelsea and Manchester United, they've never been patient with managers. Patience with managers, they've never had it.
And I don't think so. Manchester United have been patient.
No,
I mean, they are
since Alex Ferguson left, you can count the numbers of coaches that has been in United. Since Mourinho left Chelsea, you can count numbers. Even before Mourinho had a new comeback, you understand? A Mourinho comeback.
Special one.
You understand what it is? So, Chelsea, I was thinking, for you to have brought Amorim into the picture, you should have given him, as a for Manchester United, you should have given him time. A quality coach at that, when he was in Sporting, he was doing well. You brought him out from Sporting, told him that, oh, you have to handle this thing. And he told you that he can't do it in one season. I know when he said that, I can't do it in one season. It's a gradual thing. They finished 15 last season. Now, they are sitting comfortably on the 7th position. Top 10. That's a plus. He's showing that he's doing something. Maybe you should have given him a time that, okay, maybe after this season, let's see how it goes. If you don't qualify us for any European football. Do
people know about Mission 2030 of Manchester United of winning the league in 2030? That's the mission. Mission 2030 was launched and Amorim was part of the plan. Now, they felt that they are still well placed to secure European football. So because
and there is nothing that will make them not to have qualified for Champions League football this season. If they have allowed it.
Particularly the emotional statements in the media.
Emotional statements not speaking well.
It's a young manager. I mean, these are young managers.
It's just like me telling after the match, Ateta will just tell you that he didn't expect you. You understand? These are coaches these are new generation coaches. You can't expect Alex Ferguson to come to the media and tell you The same thing with Azoreya. He will tell you what you want to hear.
Yes.
He will tell you what he wants you to hear. And goes back to his room and do his drawing, go to his drawing board and do what is necessary. But all these coaches feels that, oh, to gain popularity in the media, you have to say what the media wants you to hear.
I still believe that Amorim did not well at Manchester United. Let me state my reason. He won only 24 matches out of 63 games.
Okay.
That's poor for the kind of money spent at United, the kind of players brought in. Even this season that we're talking about, he got Cunha, Buemo, and Sesko as a total new attack of 10 players. And you look at that team, and there is a Rashford who you said was the worst attitude player that is doing well at Barca. There is a Sancho who had a fantastic season at Chelsea last season. You had issues with him also. There is a Kobe Mainoo who you feel like they are not players who are worth it for you. A Greenwood who you had an issue with. Yes, Greenwood. And we also saw what Greenwood is doing. We also saw what his name again, the player who became the best player in the Serie A last season at Napoli.
Oilan.
Huh?
Oilan.
No, not Oilan.
McTominay.
These are players you condemn. You felt like though they are not Scott McTominay, best player in the Serie A last season. We also saw Rashford score goals. We've seen what Sancho have done. You know, you look at all of these and you can tell authoritatively that this manager lacks the knowledge of what he's doing. So how can you condemn a player and player goes to succeed? Now you have 38.1%, the worst rate of any United manager since the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson, aside from Ragnick that had 37.9% in half of the season as interim manager. So United have won less than a third of their Premier League games under Amorim. 15 out of 47. 19 defeats. 15 out of 47 games.
I mean,
so how can Amorim win only 15 games in the Premier League in 14 months?
Don't judge him. Don't judge him based on where was Manchester United when he came.
Oh goodness me!
Look at
United was last managed by Ten Hag. True or false? And Ten Hag, who got sacked, have got better ratio and start than Amorim.
Then where did Ten Hag keep the club before leaving? Where was the club when Ten Hag?
They were
sitting in the
so Ruben Amorim came in.
Amorim came in when United. Wait, see, that's what I said about patience.
Before you go, let me also point out. Do you know Amorim's longest winning streak is 3 games for a manager of 14 months? Don't make excuses for Amorim. 3 games is that the longest winning streak for a Manchester United manager?
Wait, what you're saying is true, quite alright. But what you should understand is that Amorim may not be a fantastic coach at United, but history has it that Amorim as a coach at Sporting Lisbon had a wonderful run of unbeaten before he came to United. English football is a different system of game.
And that is why he will be sacked to get a manager.
He wasn't
from
sacked.
The English
he was not sacked because of his performance.
It was.
It was not because of
it was part
but
of it.
It was because of
tactics
the way
and
he
media
was talking.
addressing.
He was talking down on the people that employed him.
And then
I don't think they had any issues.
And in fact, they had issues. See,
I don't think they had at a point. Yes, he wasn't doing well. If they wanted to have sacked him, they would have sacked him.
When that was the beginning of the season when he had
the audacity that was okay. The owners are only saying we are still backing you. We are still. It is not the audacity for a manager that the owners are backing you up, even when you are not delivering, to come out to say that what you have that word you used that to them means you insulted them. We are backing you. You're not even doing well. We are still covering you.
The 3-4-3 work at United was the formation.
It didn't work along. It didn't work.
So why was it so hard for a coach, a world-class coach, to change his formation?
And even when the owners called him and said change, he said no. Even the Pope, for him to say even the Pope cannot even make him change. That's to tell you that the owners had patience with him. So I did not.
The job too.
He was tired because that statement was to ignite the owners
yes.
to sack him.
Like the pressure
because
was
he believed that at that point they were ready to be patient with him. They were ready to go with him. They were ready to follow him at his pace. But for you to come out and dare the owners of the club, I mean that was overboard. You went overstep your boundaries, and that's what got him that sack. Not even his performance.
One thing, let take it or leave it. Before United or Chelsea will get him as an out of this mess.
Yeah, so you feel like the timing is not right.
The timing is not right.
You feel like timing
I think so too.
Timing is not right.
Okay, but I feel like if the two teams are very much poised to make it to Europe, and if they do make it to Europe, it's good. It's a good season.
It's a good season.
They're never
Before the sack,
it doesn't really look like City is catching up.
before the sack, Chelsea and Manchester United were still comfortably in 5th and 6th. Presently now, they have gone down to 7th.
I feel like new manager will change the narrative.
A new manager coming into the system that you don't even know.
For me, I mean, we're dealing with Manchester United, are we talking about Chelsea? Because you are sacking an Enzo Maresca and you are bringing what? A man that was coached or trained, a mentored by Mourinho. What's Mourinho statics when it comes to coaching? Did he excel? And you are bringing a manager that's
a problem.
No, if you are sacking a manager that you feel that it is not up to, you should be bringing a manager that is
world class above
that manager, not bringing below.
Is Enzo Maresca good enough? I feel like it's another topic for them. Good enough to coach Man City, because I feel like when he knew that he would get the Man City job after Pep Guardiola, the assurance came after the meeting, or that when he was sure that Juventus was going to give him a job with City to no work, he knew his time at Chelsea was almost over. Because I don't think if Pep loses out this season that he might continue at City.
Manchester, let me tell you, I will always say it, Pep Guardiola's job is the most secured job.
I mean his choice to walk away.
Except
like Klopp had a good job, but he decided to walk away. He said he needed to rest.
But Pep Guardiola is not looking like someone that wants to walk away. Anyway, he had a marital issue.
Yes, that's why it took time before he agreed the new contract. He ran out his contract at City. His job, he said it himself, and he knows. Even if City gets relegated, they're not sacking Pep. They have that understanding. But I feel like he wants to get a rest. Probably, he's part of those who are fighting for a country in Spain. So that's why I feel like the Spanish national team will not work because of his Catalonia loyalty. Look at his body language. Look at the way he's replying to his press conferences. His divorce that happened. I feel like he would want to get his own time away from the game, because from everyone that's spoken about Pep, he's someone that loves the game a lot, that he can call you up at midnight as a player off season to say this is the tactics, this is that. So I for one feel like Enzo Maresca knows that if he walks away at Chelsea now, he will get big money. He's got a long contract.
Yeah.
And he will be sure that probably next season a City job waits for his former team Juventus would call him back to come and do things there. So I feel like the timing is wrong on the part of Chelsea, who are building on a long term. And that's why they're giving a Rezonoa another 5 to 7 years.
6.5 years.
I wonder what you want to achieve with I don't use the word, but I want to say
the manager is still learning work.
Yeah, we are as a coach, and you want to win the Champions League, you want to win the Premier League.
But why sack Enzo when you are still in the?
But I mean,
in all competitions.
But I will still also want
to make that statement that Enzo Maresca made and go for meetings about coaching on that team, I will sack you and your owner.
But I mean, I will say that I want to sit with Lin Rezono. Because why? Who was Pep Guardiola when he coached Barcelona?
Exactly.
So you give people benefit of doubt. Maybe he can go in down, and even Enzo Maresca was not coming from relegation with Leicester City.
Who was Di Matteo when he won the Champions League?
So let's not
win the Champions League, and Di Matteo did. I feel like we need to watch him play and see what comes out of it. But of course, Liam Rezonoa's discussion will be a topic for another day. So we all agree that Chelsea and City are not of the best timing of the sun.
Of course.
Okay. We will think about having an episode where we'll talk about these two clubs, United and Chelsea, about who should go. Chelsea have made a choice, Liam Rezonoa, but we don't know if he's the best choice. So we still got to talk about him. You know, we had you on the right. a coach mentored by Wayne Rooney.
It was, yes.
Not even a Frank Lampard.
Only that.
But we see what happens in the course of events, to see how all of that will unfold. But I feel like we've been able to establish that it's wrong timing. But then the sack should come, in my own opinion.
Yes.
The two coaches, like you're my coach,
They
got a
insulted
long-term
their
contract.
employers.
You even if you inform me that you're going for an interview, why? Not even an interview of a team outside. Let's say Juventus is outside of England, when you're going to talk with Man City, a team that will play. Like we have a game with Man
It
City,
was an insult.
and you go get a meeting
slap.
with Man City. And you want to be the coach for Chelsea, and like
It
and
was
say,
a slap on the
you know,
face
you're
of
my
the
brother
brothers.
now. So I felt like it was poor,
Disrespect.
disrespectful, and the fact that he walked away from a press conference to send Hilario to go say, "Oh, our coach is sick." That's another terrible thing. Now, the medical team informed you of a player that is not fully fit, and you use the player the way you want, not once, not twice. That's poor. That's poor management. You're undermining the services of your another department.
Yes.
Because the medical team is a department of its own that is poised at, they are paid and judged on their success about how many players stays fit and not like how long they recover from injury. That is their core. That's how they have the dietitian, the team doctors, and all of that. So I feel like he disrespected the club and deserved the sack. Amorim, I felt like the job overwhelmed him and he wanted to walk away. And the only way to walk away is to say,
Ignite the sack so that they
not
continue
changing
to
my
play.
pattern. Oh, these players are, because we have a Cunha, and you have problem with every other player and they are delivering it. Okay, what happened to Rashford? Is Rashford not better than Benjamin Sesko? So what happened? And his bagging goals at Barca. And now you get there. Okay, Sesko that could not score since now scored 2 goals in his first game under Darren Fletcher. So you see that the manager is clueless. And I feel like probably if your manager does well in the club, they should let him continue there forever. Maybe Xabi Alonso is another case to be talked about because I think he'll be sacked very soon. You become a manager, you go unbeaten, lose just 1 game a full season, and here you are acting clueless. But all the same, thank you very much.
Sometimes big clubs will overwhelm you.
Yeah.
I feel like some managers, especially these young managers, maybe it will be a topic for another day. I believe that these young managers, they don't take time to really understand and take growth.
When you come
step by step. They just allow this big club comes with this over and the media and then they get into the club and they get trapped.
Is going to the big club. Remember that the names of the players there, most of them, they earn even higher than
you as a manager.
So that alone should, as a disrespect and all stuff, you can't just control them. They have no control. As in, for the club, like now you're saying that,
and some of them are highly respected by the club, and the club can do away with you that do.
I mean, we saw it with Mourinho because of Pogba. Yes, it was part of the reason why Mourinho had to go, because he was disrespecting a big name like Pogba. So these things are things that as a young manager you must take into consideration before you go into a club. So you must fortify yourself very well, stage by stage. Don't rush. Don't climb.
I see you going into management.
Of course, there is very, very well.
yeah. Which of the club?
Arsenal, to be Arsenal.
No,
you can't do
you have
that.
to start from.
You have to start from home.
That's why I don't want to start. I don't want
You may start from
the advice I'm giving.
FC.
The advice I'm giving, I'm not taking it. I'm going to start with Arsenal.
Yeah, but Chiwedu FC.
And the men team, not even the men team.
You can't.
All the same, thank you very much, Chiwedu. Thank you for being a part of this one. And of course, it's been an amazing time. We also thank Odise, who was very much behind the camera. I would say do well to drop your 1 cent at the comment section. Tell us what you feel about the timing of the sack at Chelsea and of course at Manchester United. My name is W. Saying adios.